Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you love coins and cool facts, you're in the right place. Watch this video, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Let's get started. The 1982 United States quarter dollar is a fascinating and pivotal coin in the history of modern American numismatics. At first glance, it may seem like just another Washington quarter, but the year 1982 marked a major turning point in how U.S. coins were produced and distributed, making this particular issue of great interest to collectors and historians alike. The Washington quarter, first issued in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, became a staple of U.S. coinage and has been minted continuously ever since. The obverse of the 1982 quarter features the familiar profile of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan, with the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date 1982. The reverse depicts an eagle with outstretched wings clutching a bundle of arrows above an olive branch, symbolizing both strength and peace. Surrounding the eagle are the inscriptions United States of America, a pluribus unum, and quarter dollar. What makes the 1982 quarter particularly noteworthy is its place in the U.S. Mint's transition from a long-standing tradition of issuing uncirculated mint sets. For the first time since 1964, the U.S. Mint did not issue any official mint sets or proof sets in 1982. This was due to budget constraints and reduced demand. As a result, collectors could not acquire pristine, uncirculated coins directly from the mint in the way they had become accustomed to. Instead, they had to rely on coins entering circulation. This meant that high-grade 1982 quarters, especially those with minimal wear, became surprisingly scarce compared to coins from other years. Today, finding a 1982 quarter in true mint state condition is more difficult than for most other modern quarters. This scarcity has added significant collector interest to this year. Adding to the intrigue of the 1982 quarter are the two different mint marks and subtle die varieties that exist. In 1982, quarters were struck at both the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint, but not at the San Francisco Mint for general circulation. Philadelphia quarters from this year were among the first to bear the P Mint mark, which had been introduced in 1980 for quarters. Denver minted coins carry the D Mint mark. Collectors have also identified large date and small date varieties for both Philadelphia and Denver issues, particularly noted on other denominations from 1982, such as the cent and the dime, but to a lesser extent on the quarter. These subtle differences are typically identified by the size and style of the numerals in the date, although they are not officially recognized by the mint and remain a subject of specialized collecting. From a metallurgical standpoint, the 1982 quarter follows the composition that had been used since 1965, a copper-nickel-clad composition with a pure copper core sandwiched between two outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The total weight of the coin is 5.67 grams, with a diameter of 24.26 millimeters and a reeded edge. This clad composition was introduced after the U.S. Mint removed silver from circulating coins in the mid-1960s due to rising silver prices. Despite the absence of silver, the copper-nickel-clad coins remained durable and economical for mass production. Another element of the 1982 quarter's story involves strike quality and die wear. Because of the increased demand for circulating coins and the lack of numismatic products that year, many of the dies used to strike 1982 quarters were overused, leading to noticeable die wear on many coins. This resulted in quarters with weak strikes, mushy details, and overall lower aesthetic quality. Sharp, well-struck 1982 quarters are therefore a premium find, especially in grades of Mint State 65 and above. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC have reported relatively few high-grade examples of the 1982 quarter compared to other modern dates. Collectors and dealers have come to appreciate the 1982 quarter for its relative scarcity and high grade, its role in a year with no mint sets, and its place in the broader narrative of 1980s U.S. coinage. For those seeking to build a complete Collection of Washington quarters from circulation, finding a 1982 example in excellent condition can be one of the more challenging tasks. The coin's value in circulated condition remains close to face value, but uncirculated examples can command higher premiums, especially if they are certified by a third-party grading service. Another fascinating aspect for collectors is the 1982 error coins and varieties. Although not as widely documented as other years, some 1982 quarters are known to exhibit striking errors, such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks. These mint errors are often found by sharp-eyed collectors searching through rolls or bags of coins, and they can significantly increase the coin's value depending on the rarity and severity of the error. Die breaks and cud errors, in particular, have become popular among error collectors. In summary, the 1982 quarter is a small but significant coin that encapsulates a number of important transitions in modern American coinage history. From the absence of mint sets to its distribution challenges and the nuances of mint marks and strike quality, the 1982 Washington quarter stands as a reminder that even a common-looking coin can hold an uncommon story. Collectors today continue to search for high-grade examples, investigate varieties, and study its production details, keeping the legacy of this coin alive. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual hobbyist, the 1982 quarter offers a unique glimpse into a turbulent and transitional period in the world of U.S. coin production. The 1983 United States quarter dollar may look like an ordinary Washington quarter, but it holds a unique and significant place in the history of American coinage. Struck during a period of transition at the U.S. Mint, the 1983 quarter shares many characteristics with its 1982 counterpart, including a surprising scarcity and high-grade condition. At first glance, the 1983 quarter follows the classic design that had defined the Washington quarter series since 1932. The obverse, designed by John Flanagan, features a dignified left-facing portrait of George Washington, accompanied by the inscriptions "Liberty" above his head, "In God We Trust" to the left, and the date 1983 at the bottom. The reverse carries the iconic eagle design, also by Flanagan, which shows a bald eagle with its wings spread wide, clutching a bundle of arrows with an olive branch beneath. This design is surrounded by the words United States of America, a pluribus unum, and quarter dollar. But the year 1983 was no ordinary one for coin collectors or the U.S. Mint. Like the year before it, 1983 saw no official uncirculated mint sets or proof sets issued for collectors, due once again to budgetary restrictions and economic constraints. This decision had lasting effects on the availability and condition of coins from that year, including the quarter. Without the production of collector-grade mint sets, all 1983 quarters entered circulation through standard channels, meaning that any surviving examples in pristine mint state condition had to be saved from circulation by vigilant collectors. This made high-grade examples, especially those with full, sharp details and minimal contact marks, extremely scarce in the years that followed. Today, 1983 quarters in mint state 65 and above are in high demand and can command significant premiums on the collector's market. Adding another layer of complexity to the 1983 quarter is the issue of strike quality. Coins from this year are often found with weak strikes and excessive wear. The Philadelphia and Denver mints were producing large numbers of coins under heavy demand, and this led to overused dies and poor quality control on some strikes. Many quarters from 1983, even if they appear uncirculated, may exhibit mushy or indistinct details, especially in the eagle's feathers or Washington's hair curls. For a collector seeking a sharp strike with full details, it can be surprisingly difficult to find a top-quality example from this year. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 673 million quarters in 1983, and these coins bear the P Mint mark. The Denver Mint contributed even more, with over 617 million quarters bearing the D Mint mark. Yet despite their high mintage numbers, true mint state gems are remarkably elusive due to the factors mentioned above. From a composition standpoint, the 1983 quarter continues the standard post-1965 format, which is a clad composition, consisting of a pure copper core and outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The coin weighs 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, and features a reeded edge. These specifications were introduced in 1965 when the U.S. Mint transitioned away from 90% silver coins due to rising silver prices. While the copper-nickel clad quarters are generally robust and corrosion-resistant, they tend to show wear more rapidly than silver, and thus circulated examples of 1983 quarters tend to look dull or worn unless carefully preserved. An especially notable and rare item related to the 1983 quarter is the 1983 P. Washington quarter struck on a copper planchet or other off-metal errors. These error coins are highly prized among collectors and can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their condition and severity of the error. Some 1983 quarters have been found with off-center strikes, broad strikes, and clipped planchets, all of which add intrigue and value to this year's issues. Error collectors often search rolls or bags of coins, hoping to find one of these rare mistakes. Another special variety is the Spitting Eagle reverse die break error found on some Philadelphia minted 1983 quarters. This die break appears as a raised line or spit extending from the eagle's beak, creating a visual anomaly that has become a popular and well-known collectible variety. Furthermore, collectors should note that the 1983 quarter, especially the Philadelphia issue, has a notorious reputation for poor eye appeal in circulated grades. Many examples have heavy bag marks, lack luster, or are poorly centered. This makes certified high-grade examples all the more desirable. Professional coin grading services such as PCGS and NGC report that relatively few 1983 quarters have been certified above MS65, and those that have earned high grades, especially with designations like full strike or full mint luster, can sell for substantial premiums. A 1983 P quarter, graded MS67 or better, can easily fetch hundreds of dollars at auction, and top pop specimens, the highest known grade, can reach into the thousands. The lack of mint sets in 1983 has also led to the emergence of so-called mint set surrogates, uncirculated examples pulled from original bankrolls and carefully preserved. Many collectors and dealers have sought to assemble their own custom 1983 mint sets by sourcing uncirculated coins from each denomination and mint for that year. This hobbyist-driven effort underscores the unusual status of 1983 coinage in the broader narrative of modern U.S. numismatics. It's one of the only years, along with 1982, where collectors had no direct access to mint-quality coins from the U.S. Mint unless they were found in the wild. To summarize, the 1983 Washington quarter is far more than just a common circulating coin. It is a coin defined by scarcity in top condition, a symbol of a transitional period in U.S. mint operations, and a favorite among error and variety hunters. While its mintage numbers are high, true gems are rare. Whether you're collecting by date, mint mark, or searching for die varieties and errors, the 1983 quarter presents a rewarding challenge. It represents a small but vital chapter in the modern story of American coinage, one that reminds collectors that even modern coins, often overlooked in loose change, can possess real historical and collectible value. For both novice and seasoned numismatists, the 1983 quarter is a worthy addition to any serious U.S. coin collection. The 1992 United States quarter dollar, commonly referred to as the 1992 Washington quarter, stands as one of the final entries in the traditional pre-statehood era of American quarter designs. While it may appear to be an ordinary coin at first glance, this coin represents the waning years of a long-standing design tradition that began in 1932 and continued uninterrupted until the state quarters program launched in 1999. As such, The 1992 quarter offers a fascinating glimpse into the transitional phase of modern American coinage. The obverse of the 1992 quarter retains the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan, which was first introduced in 1932 to honor the bicentennial of Washington's birth. This iconic design shows a left-facing profile of the nation's first president, with inscriptions including Liberty above, In God We Trust to the left, and the date 1992 centered at the bottom. The reverse features the heraldic eagle, wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows with an olive branch beneath, symbolizing America's readiness for war and hope for peace. Surrounding this imagery are the inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and the denomination $quarter. By 1992, the Washington quarter had already enjoyed 6 decades in circulation, and its design had become one of the most familiar in American currency. From a production standpoint, the 1992 quarters were struck in massive quantities at all 3 major mints: Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 384 million quarters. The Denver Mint struck around 389 million, and the San Francisco Mint issued approximately 6 million proof coins. The P and D mint marks are located to the right of Washington's ponytail, just above the date. As with other years, the San Francisco proof coins were minted with a high polish finish and were sold in special collector sets rather than released into circulation. These proof coins include both clad composition and 90% silver variants, the latter being issued in the 1992 silver proof set, marking one of the first years in which the U.S. Mint offered silver proof sets as a distinct product line alongside standard clad proofs. The introduction of the silver proof set in 1992 was a significant event in numismatic circles. For the first time since the 1960s, collectors could obtain government-issued coins with a traditional 90% silver composition, albeit only in proof form. These 1992 S silver proof quarters weigh 6.25 grams compared to the 5.67 grams of their copper-nickel-clad counterparts. Their silver content is 0.1808 troy ounces. These coins feature the same Washington design, but have a deep cameo finish, with frosted devices and mirror-like fields, resulting from specialized polishing of the dies and planchets. As such, these coins are highly prized by collectors, especially in pristine grades like PR69 or PR70 Deep Cameo. It's worth noting that both clad and silver proofs from San Francisco have an S mint mark, so distinguishing them requires knowledge of the set they came from or testing for weight and sound or professional grading and authentication. From a technical perspective, the standard 1992 quarters, those struck for circulation, are made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, which consists of a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This clad composition had been the standard since 1965, following the removal of silver from general coinage due to rising metal prices. Each clad quarter has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, a reeded edge, and a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, making them consistent in size and weight for use in vending machines and banking systems. Though common, quarters from 1992, especially in uncirculated condition, are still sought after by collectors trying to complete full date and mint mark sets or specializing in high-grade modern coinage. The value of a 1992 quarter depends heavily on its condition, mint mark, and whether it's a special strike such as a proof or silver proof. Circulated examples from Philadelphia and Denver are worth face value unless in exceptionally high grades. However, uncirculated examples graded MS65 or higher can command modest premiums, especially if they exhibit strong luster, clean fields, and sharp strikes. Proof versions, especially silver proofs in PR69 DCAM or PR70 DCAM, can range in value from $10 to $50 or more, depending on demand and rarity in top grades. Third-party grading services like PCGS and NGC have reported a significant number of proof submissions, but only a small percentage achieve perfect grades, which are especially prized by registry collectors. Another fascinating aspect of the 1992 quarter is the potential for errors and varieties. Although not as well known as some other years, collectors have identified a number of mint errors in 1992 quarters, including off-center strikes, broad strikes, doubled dies, clipped planches, and die cracks. Some of these error coins can command significant premiums, especially if dramatic or well-preserved. Additionally, there have been unconfirmed or debated reports of transitional errors, where a coin intended for clad planches is struck on a silver or foreign planche, though these are extremely rare. It's important to authenticate any unusual 1992 quarter with a certified numismatic expert or reputable grading company to ensure its legitimacy and determine its value. The 1992 quarter also holds interest for those looking ahead to changes in American coinage. By the early 1990s, discussions were already underway at the U.S. Mint and in Congress about modernizing the quarter dollar and introducing a series that would better represent the states and national heritage. This ultimately led to the launch of the 50-state quarters program in 1999. As a result, the 1992 quarter is among the final issues in the long run of Washington quarters with the eagle reverse. These final years, 1992-1998, are sometimes referred to as the transitional modern era, bridging the gap between traditional numismatics and the new era of statehood and commemorative coinage. For collectors, this makes the 1992 quarter a part of a broader narrative, one that marks the closing chapter of a nearly 70-year design and the beginning of a more dynamic era in American coin collecting. In summary, the 1992 United States quarter dollar is more than just loose change. It's a coin with a historical and numismatic story to tell. It sits at a pivotal point in American coinage history, offering a variety of options for collectors, from circulation strikes in high grade to clad and silver proofs to mint errors and transitional varieties. Whether you're assembling a full run of Washington quarters, hunting for perfect proof specimens, or simply appreciating the craftsmanship and legacy of a classic design, the 1992 quarter remains a key piece in any modern U.S. coin collection. Its accessibility, combined with rare high-grade and special-issue versions, ensures that this coin will continue to attract attention from collectors for decades to come. Would you like to follow this with pricing tables, error listings, or turn it into a video script with timestamps and voiceover notes? I can also provide images or charts if needed.